Hello, this is Mr. Willis, and I'm going to show you how to make some basic 3D shapes in Google SketchUp and how to look around at your drawing. So to start with the 3D shape, I actually need to begin with a 2D shape. And so I've got some different shapes up here, and let's do the rectangle. After I've clicked on that tool, I just need to put my mouse down here wherever I want to draw the rectangle. A quick tip. You want to keep it in between the green line and the red line. If I draw it somewhere up here or back here, there's a good chance that my drawing will actually go up in the air instead of sticking to the ground. And if you're making a shape, it's best to start with it on the ground. So let's start right here on the ground. I'm going to click, and I will hold down my mouse button as I move my mouse away from that starting point, and that makes me draw a rectangle. Be careful, don't go too fast or you'll kind of lose control of your rectangle pretty quick. And about there, looks pretty good. So now I have a rectangle. To make it 3D, now let's look at the next section of tools over here. There's lots of different stuff up here that lets you grab parts of your shape and move it around almost like a sculptor with clay. For turning a 2D shape into 3D, I want to use the very first one. It's called push and pull. So I'll put my mouse on the rectangle. You'll see how it gets all these dots to let you know that, yep, it sees there's a rectangle there. I will click and then begin moving my mouse up, and that pulls up this rectangle into a rectangular prism. Now you might notice once I get to the top, it's kind of hard to see the roof of my shape here. So I'm going to switch over here to the view tools. This is what lets us look around, and it's very important that you're always looking at the right angle to see your whole shape. So the first one is the orbit. When I click on that, it lets me click and then turn my shape in almost any direction. So I could go more on the top, more on the side. I could turn it all the way around to the back. Another one is the hand. This lets me move things more directly side to side or up and down. And the third one, which I really need to use right now, is the zoom. So I've got some magnifying glasses that let me move closer or move farther away. But what I actually like to do is use the wheel on my mouse. If I roll the wheel backwards, I back up. If I roll the wheel forward, I get closer again. And so you always want to make sure that you're at a good venue to see the whole shape, to get a good view of it. Because if you're trying to work at, say, something on the top of the shape when you're right here, well, that's going to be hard to do, isn't it? Okay, one more tip before I go. Once you've started drawing shapes, you can put more shapes on top of an existing shape to really start making things look cool. So let's take my rectangle here, and maybe I want to build an extension to the building. So I'll put a rectangle over on the side of the building here. Then I'll use the push-pull tool, pull it out, and there we go. It's like I've got kind of another hallway coming off there. Or maybe I want to push it really far in, and now it's kind of like I've got like a garage that I'm cutting out of there or something. Or up top, I might choose a circle, put a little circle on top of my building. I'll zoom in a little bit so I can see it better. And then when I pull that one up, whoops, I pulled up the whole building there instead. Let's grab the circle. Now it's like I've got a smokestack. So I've now got a building with a little chimney, with a garage, and you can see as you start putting all these little pieces together, you can get a really cool looking 3D shape.